Welcome into the Chasing Trails podcast, brought to you by St. John Trail Running and powered by Resilience Through Fitness. Join two middle-aged dads as they sit down and talk trail running, life, and everything in between. Now, here are your hosts, Geoff LeBlanc and Brandon Thompson. All right, everyone, welcome into another episode of the Chasing Trails podcast. You've got Brandon and Geoff here with you. Still in vacation mode here, Geoff. Like you get to see like the behind the curtain, so to speak. Like I'm here recording in our bedroom because it's so freaking hot. I needed a place with like AC to be able to cool down before we recorded.
Oh yeah, man, you've been dying in your office.
It's awful. It's awful. And I got like glasses that fog up really quick if it gets too hot. And so I just like constantly just like moving my glasses, tipping my hat up so I don't fog up all the time. But hey, that's summer. That's the way it goes.
That's summer, man. That's right. I'm not in vacation mode anymore. I'm back to the grind. But it was hard.
You had a good time at PEI though.
We did, yeah. We had a great time. The end of the week was just as good as the beginning. I know we did something of a podcast while I was there. Hopefully we don't have the same internet problems here in Hanwell. Although my internet here is not that reliable either, but it generally is good enough. Yeah. It was good. We spent the last half of the week just bumming around beaches, eating more lobster rolls. And
nice.
Last year we went to PEI. I said I was going to run Bonshaw, and I didn't. And this year I said I was going to run Bonshaw, and I didn't even put my running shoes on this year. last year at least I ran. This year, man, like we were in this cottage. I tried to show a picture of. I don't even think that registered, but it has this big front yard. It's not on the water or anything, but it's got this really nice like overhanging deck that you can sit under in the morning. And I'd just be sitting there, and it was so like just the perfect temperature, and the coffee was good. Everyone would be waking up slowly around me and just kind of like milling about the cottage. And then I just enjoyed that. And then I was like, well, it's like 10 o'clock or 9:30 and everyone now wants to go do something. And I should go for a run. But then I was also like, well, no, I really shouldn't, because I just should go to the beach with my family because that's what we're here to do. So we did beach, and we did the lavender farm, and we ate really good food and a bunch of other stuff. That wasn't the only two things we did, but I tell you, there was this little roadside shop in the middle of nowhere. It was literally at the opening of like a campground driveway on a back road highway in PEI, but it's called a Touch of Dutch. And nice. She does, obviously they're a Dutch family. She does sourdough bread, and I think she puts out like 12 or 15 loaves every morning at 9 o'clock. And if you're not there by 9:45, you're lucky if you get any. A couple mornings I went like right at 9:30-ish, and there was 2 loaves of bread left. And so like we must have bought 6 loaves of sourdough bread. Like every morning we ate sourdough bowl of bread and
nice.
And ate bowls and bowls of strawberries and cream. And so it was just, I couldn't go running because I had to be there for the bread on time, or I wasn't getting fresh sourdough, right?
Priorities.
Yeah. Priorities. And she had a Havarti, and Havarti's naturally low in lactose, so I could eat it, which was great. A Havarti and dill sourdough, and you toast that, and you put it and just eat it with a little bit of butter, and then oh my goodness, it was so good. It was so good.
I know.
Yeah,
I'm like fully on the sourdough bread train now. Like I don't even eat regular bread anymore.
Right? Regular bread doesn't do it anymore. It just doesn't taste good. What's the point?
I know. And plus, it's like way easier on my stomach. Like I can't even eat like a hamburger bun anymore, like without bloating up like a whale. So like that's just the problem with a lot of our breads now. But that's another soapbox that I won't stand on today. But,
right, it's true. Hottie, so the best thing about vacation was eating all that sourdough bread. Convinced my wife to restart her sourdough, whatever you call it, culture, whatever.
Yeah,
it had died, and we hadn't had any homemade sourdough in quite a while. But she's been inspired to get it back going and try some fun sourdough bowls. So I'm excited.
That's good. So I just got back. I probably still smell like campfire smoke. I just took the youngest girls to Fundy National Park overnight for like a little camping trip. Like I wouldn't call it full blown camping. It's like we rented one of those Authentics. You know, it's basically like a structure with the canvas over top of it for the roof.
Yeah, it's camping what you do with camping when you have more than 2 children, because trying to haul that much gear in a tent for it's just 6 people is not doing it. Yeah,
not fun. And so we were in Chignecto, and man, did we have a good time. It was a lot of fun. Love that area. We had an early morning wake up call. Like Vesper had to go to the bathroom at 5:30 in the morning, so got to see the sunrise, which is something I haven't had since I got on vacation. And so we were able to see that. It was very pretty. But it's like,
did they go back to sleep after that, or were you up for the day?
No. Like you can't. Like we had to walk outside like to the bathroom, so it was like just waking you up as you kept going, and so it's like we're home now, and it's like that aftermath, you know, where everyone's just like super tired, but it was a good kind of tired. And so we were able to do a couple trails, and we're able to go swimming and all that kind of stuff. Got some sticky buns at Kelly's Bake Shop, and it was great. So even got to plant some trees. Like that was one of the things they were doing.
Planting
like
trees for? Oh, they were just doing it part of the.
Yeah, the park is celebrating its 75th anniversary, and so they had like the park staff there were like, "Hey, we want to plant some trees to celebrate our anniversary. Come and plant some." And so they had all sorts of different kinds that you could do. It was right across from the playground. And so we did that. So we've left our mark on Fundy National Park. So it's
there you go. And you got your free July 1st as of July 1st park entry promise.
Yeah,
and a refund. I unfortunately had to pay full price for the bridge, because apparently that political promise is they don't have enough population in PEI to actually make that happen. It was promised, but it ain't happening.
Come on.
So
don't you love Canada, PEI? Like, come on.
Yeah. It's not PEI, it's the federal government.
Well, do you know they probably got enough people going across anyway. They don't care. They're just like, hey,
well, that's just it. Man, that bridge operates on a loss all year long, so if they reduce the price in half, we're all paying for it anyway. It's just coming out of our federal tax dollars, right?
That's right.
Anyways, I didn't care. $55 to get across the bridge and live in bliss for a week. I'm telling you, man, I could live on the island. There's something different about PEI. Like people get frustrated by how many tourists are downtown Charlottetown, whatever. Yeah. But if you're on the outskirts of Charlottetown, like the attitude in life is just so chill. Like no one's worried about anything. No one's in a hurry. There's no big tight deadline schedules or anything. Like everyone just seems super chill. And I feel like I could go live in PEI and just enjoy life, but.
Yeah, I mean, no one's in a hurry because there's no major highways there. Like it's all like all these back roads that you got to take. You feel like you're in the country when this is the main road. This is how you get here. And I'm like,
main highway. Yeah,
that's right. Okay,
yeah, that's true.
You're just totally surrounded by farms. Anyway,
that's true. Yeah.
All right, so we are getting into our summer episode. So we want to talk a little bit about summer. We're still like kind of enjoying the glow of that summer warmth. I'm a big summer guy. Are you a big summer guy, Geoff? Like, is that like your favorite season?
No, fall would be my favorite season, but summer would be a close second. I like summer because the days are longer, more sunlight, all the normal things people like summer for, right? Yeah. I don't like when it's 45 degrees and hot, but now that I have air conditioning, I can handle that better, so I don't complain about it near as much, and I don't mind it. I'll go outside in the heat for a bit and then just go ahead and whatever. But so it wouldn't be my favorite season, but it's definitely up there. And fall really only wins because I get to shoot things. So
fair enough. You can't shoot anything in the summertime. Like there's nothing you can shoot in the summer.
No, there's no real hunting season in the summertime. I think for a good reason. Like anything that you shot would probably go bad by the time you got it home.
Yeah,
realistically.
Yeah. And don't you have to like give them some time, like these things to grow? Like summer's like the growing season, right?
They gotta breed and stuff, so they have to have some point of time to do that. Have babies and be safe, so that we can shoot more in the fall.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Summer is my favorite season. I love it. I often describe myself as as a surfer trapped in a lumberjack's body. Like that's just kind of how I live. Like I
California trapped in a grizzly bear's body. Yeah.
Exactly. And so I, like it's so hot. Like I'm always just like sweating to death, but I just love the summer season just because you get to do things we rarely get to do any other time of the year. So
it's true.
Love that. So we thought we would spend a little bit of time today. This would be what we call a banter episode, because
all those of you who tune in for the banter episodes, this one's for you. We've done a lot of interviews.
That's right.
Yeah,
exactly. And so we're going to be talking about some of the struggles that come with the summer running season. Now, don't hear what I'm not saying, okay? Because we'll spend most of the season of this podcast complaining about running in the cold and running in the winter. So I understand that. So, but so we're
going to have a few complaints about summer too.
That's right. We're equal opportunity, right? So it's we're going to complain a little bit about the summer, but maybe give you some helpful, I don't know if tips are the right word, but just our own perspective on how to deal with some of these things and how not to deal with them, because that's probably what we've got to share the most, is how not to deal with these things. And so we've got just like kind of a little list here of things that are some of the major challenges that come with the summer and running season, and how to, just kind of go through that. So that's kind of the plan for today and for this episode for this week. And we'll hopefully be able to, hilarity will ensue. Right. And so we'll go with that.
Yeah. I'm going to have to think back to last summer, because I haven't really experienced summer running yet this year. So,
I noticed.
Check out my Strava.
Your Garmin Connect is a little quiet. Your Garmin Connect has been a little quiet.
Yeah, ever since Rockwood, it's been a little quiet in my life for running. But we're back.
The truth is, like, vacation is vacation. That's sacred. You can't mess around with that.
Sure.
But there are, like, we'll talk about some of the challenges that come and how you can get off track with your summer running plan because of a lot of different reasons. Okay, so the first challenge is like sweat, dealing with sweat and running. So Geoff, I don't think I'm putting words in your mouth by saying, we're both pretty heavy sweaters when it comes to our running, right?
Absolutely.
It is like some of the hardest things, like when you're running, like my shirt is just drenched and my vest is covered in salt. Like it looked like a salt lick. Like that's kind of how I feel at the end of it.
Got the white stains everywhere.
Yeah, absolutely white stain. And the hat's all stained up and everything.
Yeah.
And so sweating is like one of those major, like, it's such a challenge, because I don't know about you, but when I'm trying to touch my watch or I'm trying to check my phone, like I was texting you one time while I was sweating, and like the drops of sweat would just be dripping on the screen, and it would send these random words to you, and you're like, questioning mark, like, what are you talking
what are
about?
you doing? Yeah.
And it's just me trying to type and send you a text while I'm sweaty. And so like the touch screens, none of the touch screens ever work the right way. And sweat is just like this major problem.
It's a problem. Even this morning, like I ran this morning and it was cool. Like it was like, I don't know, 9 or 10 degrees. But there was a humidity in the air, and it was sunny, and the sun had a lot of strength, and so I ended up going later than I should have. But yeah, I came back just drenched in sweat, and your body temperature gets really high. So the worst part for me is the hour after running, I can't cool myself down. Like,
right?
You run. You shower in a warm shower. Like, it was barely warm. I pretty well had a cold shower today, as close to cold as you could get it while still feeling like you're cleaning your body. And then, you get dressed and go to work, but it's like I can't stop sweating. So for me, I put a dress shirt on and an undershirt, and I'm just like still dripping. And so I get in trouble every morning when I run in the summertime, because inevitably I'll be eating my breakfast or getting ready to just go out the door. I can't resist but grab one of the dish towels and like wipe my head off because it's still sweating. And my wife's like, "What are you doing? Now you have to put that in the wash." Anyway, it's always the last dish towel or something too, right?
For sure.
The after sweat is equally as much of a problem as the during sweat.
After sweat. And also embarrassing sweat stains. So I don't know about you, but like I'm the same way. Like I get out the door and all of a sudden I just start sweating. Like you just sweat by existing. Like that's how it happens. You exist, therefore you sweat. And I'm going to like events and stuff like that, and I've got like this nice little sweat stain boiling up right underneath of my nipples. So it's like that, like
the boob sweat.
Like boob sweat. It's boob
the under
sweat.
boob sweat.
That's right. So I'm
The
just
man
like,
boob. The man boob sweat.
holy cow, what is going on? I've got like, this is embarrassing. And so I'd rather just like dump a whole bucket of water on you than just have like this thin line underneath your boobs. So.
Black shirts only, Brandon. Black shirts only.
Yeah, that's right. And so it's trying to understand, like, when should I go out in public? When should I not? Like, is this event like at 12? Then it's going to be like a running shirt. I'm going to have some sort of, quick dry thing.
Right.
But the struggle is real. Like, the struggle is real.
Yeah.
Without going with like two shirts, like, how do you navigate this? Like, it's just like, don't go out in the sun. Like, that's basically your other answer. Or go shirtless. Right? We could go shirtless.
We can't. I can't. No, I can't.
I don't have.
I know we had a guest. We should have Alex back on the show sometime. Herm there. I know he does it with style, but
that's right.
I just don't have that kind of confidence in my life.
No tarps off, eh? No tarps.
Yeah, I just can't do it. I can't do it. Yeah.
Well, we'll have to reach out to Alex Hermanson and just kind of get his. We need his like moral support. Like we need to kind of go out with
absolutely
with him.
Maybe he'll come and run with us up here somewhere. We can all go.
He travels all the time to go run with people. So
man, since we interviewed him, he's like become a hugely Instagram famous. He's going to London and all kinds of cool places running the marathons. Yeah,
he's getting all sorts of free sneakers. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So anyway,
what happened to us? He didn't take us with him. Like, come on, Al. Come on, Herb.
He had one conversation with us and he was like, we're done. We're done here. Yeah. He probably wouldn't even answer our calls now.
Nah, I think he would. He's a good dude.
Unlike other people that we've tried to reach out to. He wouldn't ghost us, I don't imagine. Not that I'm bitter. But anyway.
That's right.
He who
You'd
shall
have to let that
named.
go.
He who shall not be named.
We were sitting around waiting for, and then no one showed up.
Surprise! I'm not doing it. Okay. All right, Geoff, I got the next one. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm not prepared, Brandon. I thought you were just bringing up the topic, so we were talking about it.
Okay. Do you want me to do the next one then?
Yeah. What's the next one?
Okay. Bugs. Running with bugs.
Yeah.
So I don't know about you, but there's nothing worse than having like mosquitoes, black flies, no-see-ums, whatever you want, flying all around you when you're hitting the trail. It is absolutely the worst. Because I don't know about you, but I don't breathe through my nose. I breathe through my mouth. And so I am constantly inhaling bugs. And like it'll be a rare thing when I can go through a decent run without inhaling some form of insect. How about you?
Oh yeah, I mean, depending on where I'm running, I find if I'm running on the road, you don't get it as much. But definitely in the trail in the morning, what's worse? Well, I don't know if it's worse than inhaling a bug. We'll have to talk about what's the worst bug to inhale. But when you run through that spider web and it gets you right in the face,
oh yeah,
it's the worst. Like, how do they have random spider webs across the trail? And it's big spider webs. It's never small ones. And you don't see them coming. It just, like, splats you. And you're just like, what is this? Anyway, it's the worst. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, isn't that how we were introduced to local trail running legend Jackson Jones with his spiderweb Instagram posts? I'm pretty sure that's how we all got to... We were introduced to him and was just like, how many spiderwebs did I run into as I was running through the park?
Through the Irving Nature Park. Yeah, absolutely. You're right. It is. That is my first recollection of Jackson. Is his spiderweb posts. Yeah.
I'm like, who is this guy? And how many spiderwebs is he running into? First of all, because I can't remember the last time I ran into a spiderweb. And then like the bright colored T-shirts, I was like, man, this guy loves color. That's what. Those are the two things that stood out to me.
He switched. He went from spider webs to highlighter.
Yeah, that's right. The human highlighter instead of the human highlight reel. That should be his nickname. Right. The human highlighter. That's just it.
He should change. He should change his Instagram handle to human highlighter.
I know.
It'll be good.
You have to give credit to us, though, please. Okay, so you raised a good question, though, Geoff. Like, which would be the worst bug to swallow? If you could, let's pick the most common ones. Okay, so you've got black fly, you've got mosquito,
Right.
then you've got like would that be a no-see-um? Is a black fly considered like a no-see-um? Is that what that is?
No, they're different.
Okay,
but they're about the same size. I feel like so.
Right. So when I say no-see-um, there's like usually like a little swarm of them in the air, and they're like almost like white or translucent, and you could just run through those bad boys without seeing any of them, and you're probably eating 2 or 3 while you're going through it, because they're just so close together. So that's what I think of when I think of no-see-um. So just so we're on the same page about that. So which of those would you think would be the worst to swallow?
I honestly, probably the no-see-ums, because you're going to get a bunch. And they're not big enough to like hack them back up. They just kind of stay in your throat. That's the way I feel about it. I got one last time I was running at Woolastook, and that's what it was like. Like I couldn't get it out of my throat. Like it just stayed in there. It felt like it was in there forever. It probably wasn't. It was probably just in my head. But
it is in your head, though, right?
Yeah.
Like it gets stuck in your head. Like there's still something in my throat, even though
right.
it's probably
It's like when you swallow a decently sized vitamin or pill without a big glass of water, and you feel it in your throat. You're like, I'm gonna die. It's stuck in there, right?
Yeah.
It's not, but it feels like it is.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
I would pick black fly. I would pick black fly because they do not go gently into the night. Like they're still like buzzing around a little bit as much as they can. Like
those are tough little guys, aren't they?
Like it's just flying all around in there until you swallow it. Like you have to like commit to swallowing it or hawk it up. Like that's your choices. Yeah. And if you're just like, if you get it on the inhale, like it's just, it's already down in the esophagus, and it's
true
still,
enough.
Before it knows it's dead, it's still like buzzing around in there. So that's where I would kind of pick that one. But it's not pleasant anyway. Like there's no way that anyone enjoys that.
No, it's not pleasant. And like I've never done it, but I imagine the worst possible inhalation would be hornet or something like that, right? Like I don't know how you don't run into hornets, but hornets aren't that big. They're like they'd fit in your mouth, and you could it would sting you real bad. I saw an Instagram reel of a lady who got stung on the lip while she was running the other day, and it like blew up. She had this huge lip. It was really funny. But
it's like those ones they pay big money for, right?
Yeah, she got the Botox instead of the Botox, right? That was the joke on the reel. I can't take credit for that. Okay. But it was that's what got me thinking about it when you had this on the list. I was like, man, can you imagine like that one? She like ran into it and it like stung her lip because it landed on her face. You imagine if she was a heavy breather like we are, and something hit me in the lip. It's not staying on my lip. Like it's going in there.
Yeah, that's going in.
And we're done. Yeah. Because even when I'm running slow, I'm a heavy breather. Like people can hear me coming a long ways off. But
do you think grasshoppers have enough like air to be able to jump into your mouth? Like, do you think like those big locust ones? You know what I'm talking about? I could think a grasshopper would be a real hazard if you're going.
I don't think it would go down though. I think it's too big.
Yeah,
it's sticky. Those legs would stick. I mean, it would suck because it would like.
Could you imagine
those sticky legs would get in there?
Yeah. Oh, just the thought of like grasshopper legs all over your beard. That would feel the grossest. I think. Oh. Okay, we gotta move on. That's gonna give me nightmares.
That's what we're gonna. So that's gonna give me nightmares. He says. Brandon's gonna wake up slapping himself in the face.
Those sticky little feet on your beard. Oh man! All right. Okay, another challenge. So we didn't give you any solutions or how to deal with those. Keep your mouth shut.
No,
like that's the
answer. Keep your mouth shut.
Just keep your mouth shut. Don't eat bugs. Like that's the solution. Okay.
That's true.
Next one up is trail snacks and how to eat them when they're so hot. I had this happen even in the rain. So I had like at the East Coast, Beast Coast, I had like some, I can't remember what it was. Maybe it was like the nerd clusters. And it was just like, they were just like slime. Like they had just disintegrated against my pack and my chest. Like it was just so wet and hot that it basically was like, it was like jam. Like it just turned to jam. It just like totally diluted it. But like again, even with like granola bars or like power bars or even like made with locals and that sort of thing, like they just start to get super soggy. And like trying to find a snack that doesn't melt in your pocket while you're running is like a real charm. I mean, the answer to this is very simple. Just eat it. Eat it really quick. Like just eat them. And so
Yeah, it's true. I haven't really experienced it. I feel like all of the hot races that I did have all been like short looped races, so I didn't really carry anything with me. And so I've never really had anything go to complete goo on me because generally speaking, when it's been a hot race, like I said, that year we did the Woolstock Wampum and it was like 44 degrees. Like I only took water with me out into the trail and then ate when I got back. Maybe that's why I only made it 4 laps because I cramped up pretty quickly that day. And then I tried to eat a hot dog and almost threw up. I remember that. It was hot that day. They had guys like going into pools who were having like
you remember that?
Heat stroke
that was
or whatever.
Wild,
yeah. Yeah. So but I've always seemed to be on hot days. It's always been a race where I've had like a short loop to do. So I've never really experienced it where something's gone to complete goop on me. I did once when it wasn't trail running. You know those in the Irving you can buy those buckets of candies. Yeah, but they're like super expensive. Like you think this like bucket's
Sweet 16 candies.
The Sweet 16 candies, yes, and they're like they got sugar candies in them or those sour candies.
Yeah,
right. And you think when you were young you could go to like Dave's place in Hampton and get like 9,000. We're really going back now.
Oh, that's going back a ways. Dave's place. Whoa!
You can get any local people who remember Dave's place. Tag us in your Instagram.
Man.
You'd go in there with like $5 and come out with bags of candy. Well, we were on vacation a couple years ago, and we stopped at the Olac Irving. We were going to Pugwash, and I thought I was going to be the cool dad. The kids wanted a snack, and so I came out with this bucket of Sweet 16 candy. And so everyone just started off like, okay, everyone take 2, whatever. We're trying to keep them not too sugar high while they're in the van to go crazy. And then I left them in the front window of the van all day, and it was like 35 degrees. We went down to the beach, came back, and the kids were like, can we have some candy? I was like, absolutely. And I popped that lid, man, and it was just like cement, hot, gooey tar. And then when we tried to fix it, it just like turned into a block of cement. Like you couldn't eat them. So it was like this $30 bucket of candy gone. Everyone had 2 of them. Anyway.
Oh man.
So never really had it happen running, but I know what you're saying.
Yeah. It's tricky. When you were a kid, what was your go-to candy? Like if you could go to any store and get a candy, what would your go-to candy be?
I mean all of them. Sorry, there's kids running around behind me, but some background noise there. But all of them. But I remember I used to try. I'd like to do a mix of like trying to get the most I could. So those little circle watermelons and fuzzy peaches that were only a penny back then.
Yeah.
I would always get a ton of those so that I had like a big bag of those. And then I usually went for like the bigger candies. I loved the Cobra worm gummies, the big long Cobra gummies.
Cobra gummies?
I used to get those a lot. Yeah. And then, watermelons and fuzzy peaches. But yeah, I think Cobra gummies were a big one. If I didn't get a big pack of Big League Chew, that was a big thing when I was a kid. I used to love that stuff. Or a bubble tape. I'd put the whole bubble tape in your mouth.
Holy, yeah.
Big jaw full of bubble tape.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's for the days.
Lucas Candy introduced me to the gummy cobras. He was a big gummy cobra guy.
Yeah.
Good friend of ours, Lucas Candy, he was always constantly eating the gummy cobras. And they were like crazy long. So my go-to candy was going to be Nerds. So remember how they had like all sorts of different flavors of Nerds back in the day? Like it seems like every couple of months they come out with a different one. And so that was always a big thing for me. Especially exciting when they had like the double dipped ones. So like they were like 2 flavors.
Right.
And then it would be Gobstoppers. Like, do you remember when they used to have like?
I used to get a lot of Gobstoppers. You're right.
Yeah, they're gone. Like there's like I hardly see those anymore.
Too many kids broke teeth or choked.
It's got to be it.
Something like that.
And you had to try and break it with your teeth. Like,
I always did. I was going to ask you if you put them in and tried to snap them. My parents would get so mad at me. They're like, suck on that for a minute. I'm like, no, I can do it.
Yeah. if you could crack it and then look at the inside and see all the different, like
it was
the layers
awesome.
of colors and stuff.
Yeah.
Man, I love that. Okay, that was a good trip. Down
I was never a nerd guy, but I do like nerd clusters. They're one of my new favorite candies. But I can see where they would turn to goo really fast, even in the heat. So it just didn't like the rain and slight heat. So
sour soothers are my all-time favorite candy of all time, big or small. I love them both.
Yeah.
But those.
Do you ever go to Costco and get the big tub of them?
Oh man, yeah. My uncle got me one of those for Christmas one time before like Costco existed. It was like a TRA kind of thing, and I was like, "What? How did you get the stuff that the store gets?" Like it was just so unbelievable. And I think I ate like the whole bucket in like 2 days. My mouth was
your mouth was raw.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was just so raw, bleeding. Like my tongue was so sore. I couldn't even eat like turkey dinner. I was just like. Like it was just so big. Anyway, man, what a great Christmas that was. That was awesome.
How did we go from sucking in bugs to eating candy? Or no, we're talking about trail snacks. Sorry. Okay, that's how we got there. Trail snacks. They're not as good in the summertime. Is what we're saying.
Yeah, so eat them quick. Okay, so one more question, Geoff, before we move on though. I've been using NAC gels to kind of help supplement my running.
Mm-hmm. How do you like those?
They taste pretty good. So I get the chocolate ones, and they taste just like there's chocolate, and then there's like some tea or something in there. Like it doesn't taste like your generic kind of. It's all natural stuff, so it's like natural ingredients.
Isn't it like bug protein?
I don't know. I hope not.
I thought I read that somewhere.
I hope not, because it tastes like chocolate. If it's bugs, then that's a whole other level of conversation when it comes to eating bugs on the trail. Because I'm voluntarily doing it if that's the case. I hope not. You do a research, quick Google search on that.
I'm ChatGPTing it right now. You keep going.
Okay. The question that I have for you though is when I'm eating the package, it cuts the inside of my mouth. Like, have you ever had that? Like it slices like the inside of your cheek?
Oh yeah, when you have I've had that happen when you're having a freezy before. So
it's the same thing. And so
yeah.
Is there a better way to eat those gels than to just like stick it in your mouth and like push it up? Like that's all I do is I just stick it in there. But
I mean, I put them in. I put them in and I bite them, so then your lips are open. I just pull it out, then it goes in. Okay. So your lips are involved in the process.
You put the whole thing in and pull it out?
Yeah, like when I do. I mean, not the whole thing. Probably like half when it's a big gel. Yeah. When it's the smaller Roctane ones, I can do the whole thing. When it's a large Morton, I don't know how big the ones are you're eating, but like
the NAC ones are the same size as those Morton ones. Like it's like
I would probably just bite half of it and pull it off, and then squeeze it up and do the same thing.
Okay,
but that way your lips are out of the way. So your answer is yes. NAC energy bars contain insect-based protein in the form of deflated crickets. Cricket powder. NAC energy bars have cricket powder in them. Now, it's the NAC... What is it? NAC what?
Gel. It's a gel. So...
Do NAC gels have the same... ChatGPT is my new favorite thing. It's so... I know it's not that new, but I've been using it forever, and it's my new search engine. NAC energy gels do not contain cricket bug protein like their bars do. The gels are 2 grams of protein per pack comes from pea protein. So vegetable-based protein. Yeah, so there you go.
Good to know.
2 grams of protein in the gel, 27 grams of carbs, which is from maple syrup and maltodextrin. Anyway, I had read the bars had cricket protein in them, and I assumed the gel did too. And we were talking about bugs, so I was like, does he know that he's eating
I wouldn't have known that. Oh, jeez. That would have been awful.
Because who is it? I think it's Sarah Lamus that first introduced us to NAC bars. She said she really likes them. I think when we interviewed her 2 years ago. And I remember looking them up and being like, nope. Not interested. And so, yeah, we haven't had her on in a long time either. We should get back to some of these originals and get them on the show.
We've got some we got to get some folks back on, and so we're working on it. Like we're getting ready for the next wave of guests. It's hard because we're just so dang popular. Everyone wants to be on our show. No one says no except for one person. One person says no. Actually,
he said yes, but didn't. Actually,
yes, he did say yes, and then just didn't show up. Anyway, we won't say.
Scheduling conflicts happen, Brandon. You gotta let it go.
He who shall not be named. All right. Next one up. We've all had this one. Chafing. Like chafing in the summertime is at an all-time high.
Does skinny people chafe too?
I don't think so. I mean, I wouldn't know. I've never asked them.
We're getting controversial here. Yeah, it's true.
That's okay. Let me talk to you about skinny people. I got a bone to pick with the skinny people.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Yeah,
We're about
you
to
got
be
me
canceled.
on this. Okay, so this is nothing to do with chafing. So Catherine and I are doing the intro group, right?
Yeah.
So we're at Irving Nature Park. It's the last thing. We're told, hey, there's going to be cake at the end. So when you get to the end, like make sure you have cake. Okay, so Catherine and I are in the slow group, right? Who do you think would want the cake the most? It's going to be the slow group. Like that's built for us. Like we're here for cake. Like that's what we're here for. And so we get to the beach after everyone's finished, and there's one piece of cake left. and I said to Catherine, don't worry about not getting a piece of cake because it's all the skinny people going ahead of us. Like, they're not going to want a cake. They're not the kind that eat cake because that's why they're skinny. And so that was my thinking. Anyways, I get there, one piece of cake. And I beelined it to the table, saved it for Catherine because she was at the toilet. And I was like, all right, here we go. This is your piece of cake. And I couldn't believe it. I was shocked. That all these skinny people ate all the cake. And that got me going for the rest of. So whenever you talk about skinny people now, that's what I think of. Like they ate all the cake. So
they can afford the calories.
I guess so. Curse them and their fast metabolisms. That's what it is. They're like, oh yeah, geez, we can pound this cake down. We won't even gain a pound.
Yeah, Brent, you gained a pound just taking it over to your daughter because you touched it. Like, didn't even have to eat it. Just looked at it, and it was in the vicinity. You gained 5 pounds right there.
That's right. Yeah, I had to like loosen my pants because I already I was near a cake. But anyway, okay. So chafing. Okay. Back to chafing. Maybe skinny people chafe. I don't know. I've never asked a skinny person if they have to put on like Body Glide or anything like that. But it's like a essential in the summertime. You have to get it on. But then,
what length run do you not wear Body Glide or not chafe? Versus
you know what? It doesn't even matter about length. It depends on what I'm wearing for clothes.
Well, so, me too. Yeah, absolutely.
So if I have just like a regular pair of shorts on, I'm going to put it on, even if it's like 1 kilometer, because it's just going to kill. But I've got these like half tights now that go underneath my shorts, and those have been like a game changer. Like I couldn't go back to regular shorts now if I had to, I don't think, because they just seem to really cut down on the chafing. But even they have limits, so I got to double up. I got to do like the half tights and then like some Body Glide or whatever. So is that what you use, Body Glide?
I have used Body Glide in the past and Vaseline. Those are the two easiest ones to get your hands on. Some people love nut butter.
I really want to try
I've
that.
Never tried
honestly,
it. Yeah,
it's
never tried it.
What deterred me was it's you can only order it from the States, and so I just don't want that hassle of trying to do that. But
end up paying extra.
I got to get into
or whatever.
Yeah,
I've never tried it either. Mainly, and up until like recently, I never used Vaseline either. I didn't really ever chafe that much. I don't know what the last year has changed in my running stride. Probably the sore ankle and tight hips. I don't know. I may have changed something, and and it causes it to happen more often. But you know the worst thing about chafing is, so on shorter runs, I don't generally do anything. I just put on my beneath boxers, and they're usually fine, unless there's like a hole in a spot that I didn't notice that then chafes a little bit. But the worst part about chafing is when you don't know that it happened. Like it wasn't so bad that you didn't know. Yeah. And then you get into the shower and the water runs down your body, and all of a sudden you're just like in pain in spots that you don't want to be in pain in, and you're just like, oh, what happened? And it's like it's just you don't know, or you like put soap up and you're just like, ow, that hurts really bad, and you're just like, freak.
Yeah. So there's nothing worse than like the post chafing shower. Like it is it's torture. Painful. I'm sure they've used it in like, awful countries to torture people. Right. Forget waterboarding. Like just get in the shower with like raw skin. Like that's gonna do it.
Yeah.
I confess anything. I'd lie. I'd be like, yes, whatever you need to say. Yes, I did it. Just stop this.
Whatever, please stop. Yeah,
That's right.
absolutely. Yeah, it's true. It's so true.
Okay, so let me ask you this though, Geoff. What about like nipple chafing? Like, how
Never
are
had
you
it.
on the nipple
Never
chafing?
had
You've
an issue.
never had that.
No, because I always, every day of my life, I wear one of these Under Armour heat gear shirts.
Yeah.
Even first thing in the morning when I get dressed, I put on an Under Armour heat gear or whatever it's called, their thin undershirt. I've been wearing them for like 7 years. I started wearing one and I've never gone back. And I don't get any upper body chafing wearing these undershirts in any distance of a run that I've done. I've never gotten armpit chafing. I've never got chafing from my run vest. I've never got chafing in my nipples anywhere. So if I could get the same material for the rest of my body, I probably would wear it. But they don't. I think they sell like long johns or like long leggings, but I don't wear leggings when I run because, well, I just don't. But I think they sell a men's version of leggings, but I just can't bring myself to wear them, even shorts over top of them. I just can't do it.
Listen, once you do it once, it's awesome. Once you do it once, you just feel so free.
I have a lot of tics, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what it is.
That's a weird thing for you. Yeah.
It is, yeah. But so the undershirt, like, and I always used to wear a white cotton undershirt ever since I was a kid. Under all my clothes, I always wore a white cotton undershirt or a tank top. We won't say the other name of that. Yeah. It's taboo. That's right. A tank top, and so I've always worn an undershirt. And anyway, so now these ones fit the trick. So you should go to Sports Check or Under Armour and get a couple of their heat gear to wear as an undershirt underneath your run shirts. You just buy them a size smaller than you're used to, and they just fit nice and tight in there. Once you start wearing them, I bet you won't stop.
Oh, I'm sure. Ever. So my big chafing story happened early on in my running career. And I say career, my running experience. I had like a Nike sleeveless cotton shirt that I wore when I was running all the time. It was nice and loose and it was breathable and that sort of thing. But anyways, I started getting up to like the 10K distances, and like during the summertime, I was like just going at it. And of course, like what'll happen is I started to really get sore around that area, and I looked down and I had like blood streaks going down the front of my shirt. I had like it
was a white shirt, wasn't it?
I was like, it freaked me right out. It was a white shirt. It was a white shirt. And I was like, what is going on? I was like, what happened to me? And so I called up my buddy who was teaching me, like, just to help me with running. I was like, listen, I got a really personal question for you. Like, have your nipples ever bled before when you've run? And he's like, whoa. He's like, no. But that happens. And he told me it does happen sometimes. And just to be able to, like, nipple Band-Aids or whatever, and change it up with the material. I changed my shirts, and I never had the problem again. But that first time scared the crap out of me. I was like, like, what is going on right now? Like, some sort of crazy hormone thing happening? Or am I, like... the things that go through your head when you're trying to deal with this stuff, I'm like, what?
Brandon thinks he finally hit puberty, and it's that time of the month. His nipples are bleeding. Oh, jeez.
It was quite a thing. Anyway, all right. Kind of playing off the skin issue. What about sunscreen? Do you even wear sunscreen when you go running?
I never wear sunscreen. I'm going to get messages upon messages here about skin cancer.
Cue the skin cancer conversation. Yeah. Of course, like that's a real thing. But I've never worn it when I run. I don't know why. I've never worn it in life. I don't wear it. You don't even wear it anyway.
I hate the feeling of sunscreen. I hate it. Yeah. It stays greasy. Anything that's greasy on my skin, which is why I didn't use Vaseline ever for chafing for the longest time, because I hate the feeling of it. Yeah, even afterwards, when you wash your hands, like it doesn't come off, and you can feel it on your hands, and it drives me nuts. So anything greasy on my skin, like I don't like. So sunscreen, I've never found one that really like soaks in well, and I don't wear it. And so like even all the week we were at PEI, there were some days it was like 40 and sunny. I didn't burn all week. Skin didn't peel. I'm resistant to the sun, apparently.
Jeez.
So
you're heat resistant.
Yeah.
I don't wear it when I'm when I'm running. I do wear it when I'm like at the beach and I've got like spots that aren't exposed to the sun like open all the time. So
Right.
I do tan really well. So it's not like I don't burn very often. But I did burn myself in a weird spot one time when it was during COVID. I did I called it like the Starbucks Grande half marathon. And I ran from my house to Starbucks in Rosse to get a drink. And I had this weird sunburn on one side of my leg and on the back of my calf, but not anywhere else, just because of the angle that I was running in that,
that's funny.
direction. So, yeah. So I've had that kind of weird experience, but most of the time I don't put it on. But I don't really burn that much either, so it's not.
It's
really
funny.
an issue.
As you said this, I realized I've never run to a business to get anything. And it's because I'm always figuring I stink and no one wants me in their coffee shop.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Afterwards,
no, that's fair.
especially in the summertime. So I've never really done that. I know people do it. They're like, oh, let's go for a run and stop at Trailway for a beer or whatever. But then you're like sitting on the patio, like completely
drenched,
stinky and sweaty, having a beer. I also don't know how I'd run home after a beer either. I just would feel gross, I think. Because I probably wouldn't have one. This would be the problem. But but yeah, I don't know how people do that. They started this brew biking group here in Fairton, and they just like cruise around the trails to like 3 or 4 different spots on a Friday or Saturday night, depending on weather. And I was thinking that's great, but if you don't live downtown, you have to eventually get in your car and drive home. So, like, I'd have to bike home, you know? So, this is a long bike ride up the Hamwell Road after 3 or 4 beer. But I guess you don't have to have one at every stop, but what's the point of going to multiple locations? I don't know. Anyway.
Oh, man. All right. All right. What about water? Running out of water in the summertime seems to happen a lot more.
Have a beer.
There's the solution right there.
That was a great transition, Brandon. We're pros at this, eh? Not even planning it. We're just pros right through.
Yeah. You've got your water alternatives, and so you just kind of chase those down. But it does seem that like I've had this happen to me. We've talked about this on the show before, where I've gone for a run and I'm like, oh shoot, I don't have enough water, and you just kind of go through it a little bit faster than before. So
for sure,
you gotta plan for extra, like when it's super hot, and like beyond water, like your electrolyte stuff. Like you got to make sure you've got those in there, because you'll just be miserable.
You bonk out real fast. Yeah. I find it gets, obviously it's warmer out, so it gets hot really fast. But like sometimes in my vest in the cool, fall or spring, I can put really cold water in it and it'll stay reasonably cool. But the summertime, like within 5 minutes, it's just like body temperature warm.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Do you always have like that little brisk drink at the beginning of your straw and then it gets to the hot stuff? Like there's the stuff that was sitting in the straw that's not as hot. You get a little like, oh, that's great. And then it's like, whoa, it just tastes so warm after that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's gross. You
get that really bad if you ever go on a longer hiking trip in like the early spring. We do like May long weekend, and you fill your water bladder with, what is very cold water out of like a Fundy stream or something when we're hiking the Fundy footpath. And so for the first part of the day, you get cold water, but then like eventually it's cold enough outside or on the outside of your pack that you get that nice cool drink. And then you get the like back sweat warm water that's in your backpack. And you're just like, oh, that's gross. But
get used to it. That's something else. But I find even just trying to find that perfect drink after the run. I've narrowed it down to this really good post-race drink that's non-alcoholic. Okay. It's so what I'll do is after my run, I'll get my whey protein. I'll add like half a cup of ice, and then water, and then my creatine, and then I'll put my Nutritology. The Nutritology creatine, and then an Element chocolate packet into the whole thing, and just shake it up, and you've got like this nice sweet salty chocolate protein creatine drink.
Interesting.
It's really good. Oh my goodness. And you just sit on the deck after and just get your protein in right after your run, get your creatine, and then your electrolytes after. It's a good combo.
I've never found a way to drink the chocolate element, to be honest with you. I tried it hot, didn't like it. I tried it in a protein shake. I found it was overpowering.
Did
Maybe
you
I
find
didn't
it too
have the right
salty?
mix. I did, and I didn't like the flavor that it gave in the chocolate protein. Now I had chocolate mint protein, and so that changed the taste of the protein, which I generally liked the chocolate mint flavor. Tasted like a mint Oreo, like it was a great flavor of like a quick protein drink. But when the chocolate element changed the whole flavor profile of the whole thing.
Yeah,
So
it would. Yeah.
if it's just plain chocolate protein and chocolate element, it probably could pull that off in like a cold drink like that. But I've never.
Yeah.
I've
It's
never
got to be
done it.
ice. Like if it's not, if there's no ice in it, it doesn't work. But if you get a nice little, it's like a cool little shake, like one of those Starbucks refreshers or whatever.
Absolutely.
Like that.
Yeah. I love having a nice cold brew iced coffee after a long summer run. And it can be decaf or whatever. And sometimes I'll put a little splash of like a chocolate, almost like a chocolate cold foam coffee from Costco or from Starbucks that they used to have that chocolate cold foam on the top. Yeah. Almost like one of those because you put a little protein shake in there. Chocolate protein shake in it on the top, and it would just give that iced coffee a good flavor.
Nice.
That was always one of my favorites.
I've never tried protein powder in coffee. Is it good?
You mix the protein like milk, and then you pour it on top of the coffee, almost like a creamer. Okay. Yeah, and then you could do a vanilla, and it would be like a vanilla coffee flavor or whatever. Yeah, it's good if you have a chocolate or a vanilla. If you have any other flavor, you can't do it. Like you're not going to put like Kit Kat in your coffee. It would or like mint chocolate or strawberry. I'm probably not going to do that in my iced coffee, but a vanilla, a pure vanilla or a chocolate would be good.
I saw a Fruit Loops powder the other day. Yeah. That sounds disgusting, and I love Fruit Loops.
Like Fruit Loop milk, basically.
Oh,
yeah. So BPN had one for a while.
Did they?
Bear Performance Nutrition out of the United States. And when I first started lifting and running, I had followed him quite a bit, still do, but I ordered their Fruit Loop one. And although it was back when I didn't really figure out that I didn't like lactose didn't sit well, so it always made me feel sick. But the flavor of it was pretty good. It did taste like Fruit Loop milk. Like it was bang on, like eating Fruit Loops or drinking the milk afterwards. It was pretty good.
Which I do.
It's pretty good.
Which I do. Like I do that. But I would never sign up to buy one that's designed to do that. I just think
every now and again drinking it was good, but you're right. Like having a whole 5-pound pail of protein powder that was Fruit Loop flavored, it was too much. Yeah, I didn't order another one. So
yeah, I think that's kind of the end of the line for me. Like I can't handle that stuff. Like I'd rather go without it than drink that.
That's true.
Okay, last one here before we kind of wrap her up. The summer run start time. This is so real. I mean, to pick when to go running is so tricky because if you get up in the morning, like you can get it out before it gets too hot, but I'm like you, like I like to sit and drink my coffee on the deck, and by the time I get myself ready to go, it's like 10:30, and you're running in the heat of the day, and so you're just and then you're like, okay, I'll run in the evening, and then you never run in the evening because you just it's too nice
because you just
don't deck and drink coffee,
right, or it stays hot. Like I find here in Fredericton, it stays hot in the evening in the summertime. Yeah. You don't get a cool evening like you would in St. John. Or on a colder river system than what is this. The Fredericton River it gets really warm in the summertime because it's not deep water right there in Fredericton. So you wouldn't even get that. Like sometimes at Heidi's parents' place, you get a cool breeze coming off the Kennebecasis River because Means Cove is there and it's still cold enough water flowing through because of the Bay of Fundy and the tides that you get that cooler breeze in the evening, but you don't. Here in Fredericton for sure, and you probably wouldn't in Hampton either because there's no big rivers really there either. Yeah. So in the evening it just stays hot, and so it's like 6:30. I should say 5 a.m. or nothing, but I'm never out of bed at 5 a.m. unless I'm going golfing or hunting. It seems to be the only thing that gets me out of bed that early. But but yeah, it's like 6:30. If I'm not running by 6:30, 7 o'clock, I'm not getting it in the summertime. So
outside anyway, right? You can still do the
treadmill.
treadmill.
Yeah, that's right. I still do the treadmill. Like the other night, I jumped on the treadmill because I hadn't run, and I was trying to get after vacation back towards it. But yeah, it's not the same. I always feel guilty running on the treadmill in the summertime. I'm like, what are you doing?
Do you? Yeah.
you're gonna be on the treadmill all winter, like because you don't like to run in the cold and the ice. Right. And in the summertime, it's nice out, and you're on the friggin' treadmill, you dummy. Yeah, it always never gives me the feeling like I had this morning after running outside in the beautiful sunshine, and it felt really good all day. I could run on the treadmill and still have a negative, angry day, right?
It's like so I paid heavy for this one the other day because I was slow getting out the door, but I really wanted to get it done, and so I had hill repeats, and so of course like. Oof. They're hard to find. And so the only place that I really have that's pretty accessible and that seems to be working pretty well right now is the Hall Road in Hampton. And if you know the Hall Road, it's this long road that comes into Hampton. It's not a very steep incline. Like, I don't know what the percent would be. It's like, I don't know, 2%, 3%, but it's long. So it's like it's almost 2 kilometers. Right. And so I'm like, okay, that'll do it. And I had to do 11K of hill repeats. Yes, and sir. I was just like, it was so hot, like it was banging off the pavement, and I was nowhere near a trail, and I just thought, this sucks. And I was like, I'm never doing this again. So I got to get up early and do it, or just find a place in the woods to do it because it was just brutal. I think I'd rather drive to Poli and do the hills there, I think, than do the Hall Road again at like 12 o'clock in the afternoon.
Oh, yeah. The heat coming off the pavement is something else that you won't understand until you've run a significant distance on the road in the heat. Yeah. It kills you so fast. Like I remember when I was first training for Frederick Marathon and get up early on a Saturday, and be like, end up going to run at 9 o'clock, but I had a 3-hour run or a 4-hour run or whatever it was, 35 kilometers. And that last hour, like it just took the energy out of you because you hit 11:30, 12 o'clock, and you're like, the sun came up over the trees and it's beating on that black, and you think you had enough water, you think you had enough food with you, gels, and then all of a sudden you're just like completely wrecked. Completely wrecked. There was a couple days I had to call Heidi and be like, you got to come get me. I don't think I can't make it home. Bring a Coke with you because I won't. I'm down near Kingswood and I'm 5 kilometers away from the house, and like, I ain't gonna make it. And there's a store between the two, and so she would stop at the store and get me a Coke. That happened once or twice, and I was like, I just can't even I can't walk right now. I have to sit down because the black tire just wrecked me.
Oh, it's no good. And just think like the Badwater 135 was just like this past couple days, right?
It makes no sense. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, just to be able to run in that kind of heat is unbelievable. Like, when they say it's like the toughest race, it's got to be in the conversation. Like I don't like. There's a lot of races that claim to be the toughest races, but man, that's got to be one of those. Like the heat on that thing has got to be just brutal. I don't know how they do it. Like you got to wear all white so you don't die.
It's crazy.
Yeah. So anyway, that's crazy. But it is the summer season, and we love it, and we'll run in it. And we'll do our best to enjoy it. And let's just say, like, there are some challenges, but running in the summertime is the best. Like, it is the best.
It is. And just remember, August is coming. And those August mornings, you can't beat. You can't beat an August morning, right?
Yeah. So it's a wonderful time. And so we want to celebrate that. And also, Geoff, we forgot to do this, but we just want to celebrate some of our fellow runners who finished at QMT.
Even if they didn't finish.
That's right. Yeah. You put in an amazing effort at QMT. It was just amazing to see like some of those stories. Like they were crazy. So I was shout out to a lot of those guys because they were doing some really hard stuff. Like I can't even imagine running up Mont Saint Anne. Like that just seems bananas.
Now that I've actually looked at it, if you remember last year, I talked about being at this QMT, running the 80K. It sold out before I bought it. Now that I've looked at, like, I never really checked out people's Strava of how much vert and ridiculousness that run is. I'm kind of glad it sold out before I got around to buying tickets because I was in PEI chilling out on the beach, not running. And if it had have been, if when we finally decided to take this week as vacation, we were going to go to Quebec City for the rest of the week after the QMT. But I had some FOMO watching because I was like, man, that looks cool. Look at all the people there,
Yeah.
All the people from St. John Trail Running. How many people did we know that were there running? Like probably 10 or 12, right?
Right.
Between Fredericton, St. John, and maybe the Moncton area too. And like it would have just been, the vibes would have been fun, but
yeah,
I don't know that I would have survived. And it was hot from what I understand. Yeah. So
like
I'd have been
the first 15 kilometers are just crazy vert. Like it's just insane. So kudos to them. My neighbor, Robin Gilson, ran it and she was like 40th overall.
Yeah, she did great. Oh, wow. Crazy.
And she's like, I'm retiring from ultra running. She's like, I'm done. She thought it was
never
so
running
hard.
again.
Yeah, she's like, I'm done.
And yet then you got guys like Mark Campbell just making it look easy.
Oh my goodness.
Just ripping it up. Yeah.
Pushing through it like nobody.
What a beast.
Yeah. So kudos to all you guys who finished QMT, and our hats are off to you. And so this week, Geoff, we've got a busy week because we're actually going to get interviewed. So it'll be an interesting one for us because we're not usually on the other side of the mic. Liz Myers is going to be interviewing us this is an international interview. She lives in Florida. And so she's got her own podcast called A Tribe of Runners. And so it'll be fun to talk to her. And she'll be on our show. So we're doing like a little exchange there. Yep.
We have her on later in July, right? Or August?
Yeah, we've got her in August, I think. Okay. And she's interviewing us this weekend. So we'll be on that, which is good, which feels surreal because she interviews people who have run like massive races. Like she was crewing for someone at Badwater right now.
No way.
And so she's going to talk to us. She doesn't know what she's getting herself.
So what you're saying, we're way out of our league.
Oh yeah, man. We're punching above our weight class here. So
good.
She won't know what's coming at her. Like she's going to get two Atlantic Canadian guys who
I'm sure
if we just make fun of Florida. If we just made fun of Florida the whole podcast, that would be so funny. Wouldn't it be like, are all the Google searches about Florida man true? Like that's going to be one of my questions. Like, is it really crazy down there? So it could be fun.
Should be something. And then we got Adam Tremblay lined up for an interview on Sunday too, right? So
that's right. So Adam will be next week, and so we're gonna get psychological in this conversation with Adam.
Yeah, I saw your questions. Those are deep. Those might be uncomfortable questions for us.
Oh yeah. The thing is, like, Adam's going to turn them back at us. He's going to be like, "Oh, well, tell me about your childhood," and I'm like, "Oh, shoot, I don't even get into this." Yeah. So the walls will be up. The walls will be up, ready to go.
Right. That's right. Be guarded.
It should be the most uncomfortable conversation for the two of us if we have to talk about our feelings.
But he's going to listen to this before the show and tell us we're idiots too. So
I mean,
he's not wrong.
We're going into a psychological battle here with like water guns. Like we're gonna be in rough shape. But anyway, it should be fun. Yeah. No, we look forward to that. Right. Adam's a big veteran of the trail running scene and has a lot of good things to share. So we're excited about that.
Absolutely.
So, all right, so that's just a little preview of the things to come. But in the meantime, everyone, keep enjoying your summer running. Hopefully, you're not swallowing bugs or chafing, and may all your treats be wonderful. And keep on chasing the trails.
1, 2.